the We Wreck Records podcast.
GWAR is a product of punk rock,
I come from a punk rock school. I'm into bands like MDC, Millions of Dead Cops.
DIY, and political artistic statement.
Unless you're inspiring insurrection and revolution in the street, your band ain't shit. I stand in solidarity with the revolutionaries of the world. I'm dedicated to the destruction of the multinational Globo corporation.
Well, you guys kind of look like what some of the powers that be in this world really are in their soul.
I think that's right. GWAR challenged the idea of what rock and roll and what live music performance could be.
They're also the only band to have beheaded six presidents: Osama, Obama, the Queen, Vladimir Putin, and the Pope. Welcome to GWAR, 40 years of blood, mayhem, and jizz. To celebrate the release of GWAR's brand new EP, The Return of Gor-Gor, we have BälSäc and Blöthar here to talk about why these insane space lizards have strutted the globe for 40 years. We also pay tribute to the late, great Oderus Urungus, original frontman, with some moments from his last interview, which I was lucky enough to conduct. So, rock and or roll. Hello, welcome to We Wreck Records, a new show dedicated to wrecking the mystery around the albums and artists that matter in music, and some that are just truly ridiculous. We have Blöthar the Berserker and BälSäc with us here today, who have been members of the Scumdogs of the universe for, I don't know, almost 40 years, which is kind of wild. So welcome, gentlemen.
Yes.
Did you just call us ridiculous?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You said
did.
we were simply ridiculous.
You're absurd, and the world needs absurdity right now. We need you. The world needs GWAR. So for the uninitiated, GWAR are the Scumdogs of the universe, an elite fighting force that rampaged across the galaxies for many years.
None of that was ever proven.
They blew up the wrong planet, got exiled to Australia, not to Australia, you got exiled to Australia. That was just in my head. Exiled to Antarctica, defrosted, and have played on stage. And they're also the only band to have beheaded six presidents: Osama, Obama, the Queen, Vladimir Putin, and the Pope, which is important. Why have you not been thrown in a gulag yet?
A goulash?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we haven't been thrown in a gulag. I tell you, I do wish we were banished to Australia, though. That would have been a hell of a lot better than Antarctica.
Must have been cold. What have I missed in the mythology?
You did a pretty good job.
I gave it a whirl.
Yeah, describing GWAR as an intergalactic force of, bumbling space alien soldiers who wind up here with nothing better to do. I mean, the minute that they looked at us, they were like, this group is so stupid that they should be rock musicians.
Well, that's obvious. That's the obvious next step.
You forgot that we had sex with apes and we were actually responsible for the greatest catastrophe on this planet, the human race.
That's right.
We're all our bastard children.
Why was music the Scumdogs' weapon of mass destruction, is my question from the beginning.
Well, rock and roll was youth culture.
Yeah.
And we wanted the youth.
So for the uninitiated, we're going to go back for a second to 1984. I know you guys joined in like 87 and 88, but I wanted to talk about your human origin story and maybe have a quick chat to your human slaves. Allegedly, it all started in a weird milk bottle shaped building called the Richmond Dairy, where there was musicians and art students and a bunch of weirdos getting together. What was the kind of energy in that space when, GWAR was just when you were just tapping into the GWAR mystery that had obviously been happening for eons?
Naked fear. That's what I remember. Just, yes, being very afraid of being judged by my peers. Being a lonely fat child. I was overweight. And I just wanted people to love me. GWAR is a product of America in the 1980s and punk rock, DIY, making something yourself. And really, I think that we all loved shock rock. We loved all of it. We loved glam metal. We loved just straight up glam rock, and we liked punk rock music, and we wanted to, be Kiss, but really stupider, a lot stupider. And not only that, but we saw how actually stupid music was, and the ridiculous posturing of masculinity and just bullshit going on. And we wanted to bring the world of underground comics and the world of horror movies and the world of trash culture. We wanted to do all of that and reflect all of that in a rock band. And you had a very creative group of people who like to sculpt and like to paint. And so, who would not, as a young, scared child on the streets trying to make their way in the world, who would not be attracted by a milk bottle full of old perverts making butts and wieners out of rubber?
This show is proudly presented by Distrokid, and we have a special deal for all the musicians out there looking to release their new music fast. Distrokid helps over 2 million musicians around the world release on all major music streaming platforms and YouTube. You keep 100% of your earnings, can suss a huge range of features, and if you like this show, support this show by taking advantage of this incredible offer, 30% off your first year with DistroKid. Just head to distrokid.com/VIP/WeWreckRecords. It's like a tractor beam, you being kind of pulled into it. And so Techno Destructor was making movies and Dave Oderus Urungus was in a band. What was the weird sexual birth of GWAR?
Techno is making his movie. He wanted to be a star. He wanted to have a scene in the movie with a band, right? The thing is that the movie never got made, but the band did. So it's pretty much that simple, right? There really isn't much more mystery than that. Like the two thing in the studio where they're making the set for the movie, right next door is a punk rock band playing. And then one day the question comes, it wasn't from Oderus Urungus' slave, Dave Brock. It was actually from a magician named Mr. Magico, who was played by the human slave Russ Bohorsky of Death Piggy. And he said, hey, let us wear these costumes. And so they did. And then you have the birth of GWAR. So really, I mean, I think it was just the desire to do something creative and to keep doing that creative thing. I don't know why we still keep doing it 40 years later.
Well, you guys kind of look like what some of the powers that be in this world really are in their soul. Like
I think that's right.
You look like what I imagine it, like all those oligarchs and shit look like inside. So it's comforting and familiar for it to be on the outside. And I wanted to do you mind if I do a quick shout out?
Not to an oligarch.
No, so I was lucky enough in 2014, I actually did Dave's last interview. So Oderus Urungus' last interview. So on the Soundwave Festival tour in Australia, I spoke to Oderus twice because he was such good value that I wanted to I spent the most time with him the whole time because I thought he had the most to offer. And he was an experience, and I wanted to play a couple of clips for us to discuss. Oderus, I have one question for you. How can we overthrow the government?
How do we overthrow the government?
Yeah.
Everybody goes into the streets and they don't go to work. It's worked before. The freaking Indians in India, even though they don't call themselves that, they were led by this little bald fuck called Gandhi. And they fucking busted out many, many, many years of English colonial rule because they just said, fuck you. They didn't go to work. It was a non-violent revolution. Now I know you people are saying, Oderus, what are you saying? Non-violence? It's like violence is I'm best at that. But as far as humans are concerned, yeah, if you just don't go to work, nothing works, man. Unless you're inspiring insurrection and revolution in the street, your band ain't shit. You know, I come from a punk rock school, and I stand in solidarity with the revolutionaries of the world. I'm dedicated to the destruction of the multinational Globo corporation. I'm into bands like MDC, Millions of Dead Cops, you know? And that's what I came up on.
We're not making shit and breaking shit.
That's what I came up on, bands like Black Flag.
Fucking A.
It's like everything now, and the proof in the pudding is just in the fact that when you go to shows, these kids are wearing shirts from bands that are fucking 30 years old, okay? So fucking get a grip. Come up with something new. Don't be a dick. Be like Salvador Dali or something.
Sabbath or Dali?
Well, Sabbath or Dali, that would be great.
That'd be fucking great. Sabbath and Dali together.
Sabbath and Dali.
All roads,
And the Dalai Lama.
all roads lead back to Sabbath. Let's
Well,
be honest.
They do. But before Sabbath, there was a little guy named Jimi Hendrix.
He had so much heart and soul and ridiculousness that I would love to know what it was like to when you guys as Scumdogs first discovered, experienced his energy and all that kind of stuff. Because I feel like while we're talking about 40 years of GWAR, we can't not talk about Oderus.
Yeah, well, of course. He's an extremely underrated performer. And Oderus was just a great frontman, a great personality. And he, I think in that clip, in the two clips that you showed, right, he's telling you what GWAR is, that GWAR comes from punk rock and that GWAR is dedicated to social and political artistic statement. And like, you know, we don't necessarily, punk rock was always been very vague too, right? Like,
Yeah, dude.
it's not clear what exactly we're pissed off but we are pissed off about it.
100%.
And we keep that up. We keep that tradition alive. And Oderus, you know, he had a razor sharp wit. He was very
smart.
Very smart and very entertaining and unafraid. And he passed that torch to us. I mean, we all shared in it as part of the creation. Oderus was the loudest, and so people were listening to him. I think over time, but you know, GWAR really has always been an ensemble effort. Even in the very beginning.
This month's episodes of We Rep Records are brought to you by Earpeace, the high-fidelity earplug brand designed to enhance your experience of live music. Their lightweight, triple patented design basically conforms to the natural shape of your ear canal, which is awesome. And it's the closest thing to custom molded without the price tag or the chronic fear that you're going to lose them. Your future self who wants to listen to live music when you're old will thank you. For 15% off your next pair of earplugs, head to earpeace.com/pages/WWR podcast. We'll put the link in the description. Definitely suss it out.
So, you know, I mean, I think people were surprised that the band was able to keep going when Oderus left this realm of existence. But people in the band, we weren't surprised that the band could keep going. It actually reflects people's lack of understanding about what GWAR is, that they couldn't understand how the band manages to continue on. You know, there's a lot of people, a lot of aliens, a lot of effort, a lot of creativity involved in making this thing that you see, and takes a lot of folks to do that.
I just think it's great that you guys like just to be creative and actually bring something out into existence that isn't out there. There isn't anything else in the world like GWAR.
There's also nothing in the world like Oderus, and there won't be.
No,
right? Like that was a, you know, it's like a cross between Sammy Davis Jr. and I don't know, Ozzy Osbourne, and maybe, you know, I mean, he was, and not, I'm talking about Ozzy's confusedness, right?
Yeah.
The confusion of Ozzy, the wit of Jerry Lewis.
Yeah, dude.
And
Rock
the
and roll.
style of Sammy Davis Jr.
Yeah.
The voice of Mel Torme.
What was the most important thing when you took the torch? Because you started out as Beefcake the Mighty, and you've obviously just evolved beautifully as an alien cyborg into other things. What was the most important?
Not lighting myself on fire was
Really?
principal among my goals.
You can't you guys must be tread carefully around fire.
We do. We're afraid of it.
You guys got into trouble back in the day for like being controversial. What was that like, being kind of dragged into this kind of shock rock crap, like getting blamed for things in like what's going on in the world?
Well, I mean, you know, GWAR is shock rock. That's what we are. And at the time, you had Senator Jesse Helms, who was trying to make his name for himself. Thankfully, he died as the old sun-whitened piece of dog shit that he was, and nobody remembers him really.
Yeah.
But he did, yes, he tried to, or he had GWAR arrested in his home state of North Carolina. And I
Yeah.
mean, there was a time when GWAR was considered obscene filth,
Yeah.
and we still are proudly obscene filth. However, the people who would accuse us of that have disappeared. I'm actually a little nervous now, right? You know, GWAR, we've brought out all kinds of humans onto the stage. We've killed all kinds of politicians.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it wasn't until Donald Trump that people started saying, "Ew, what? You guys are political." Ew." Why? Why was it, only with him,
You've been
right?
doing it for 20 years, like beheading like politicians. Hasn't that been
20,
your,
we've been doing it 40.
yeah.
Yeah. No, it's because the world has changed. War hasn't changed. The world has changed.
Do you think it's more dangerous to be dangerous as artists right now than it was before?
I think we're gonna fucking find out.
Yeah. Are you guys? Yeah.
Stopping what we do.
Yeah.
I also think people are, BälSäc was talking about this just the other day about
Yeah.
wokeism. It's not like you can't say what you want. You can say what you want. People are fucking cowards. Say what you want. Do what you want. Just don't be fucking stupid. If you're stupid, then people are going to look at you and see that you're stupid, and they're going to call it out. But if you can't do whatever you want, but
Yeah.
you can definitely say the things you want to say.
Unless you like writing an essay about Palestine. We won't go down that path. Yeah, it's a weird time. How is it different to when you guys came out? Like, I don't know, like Ronald Reagan and shit. Like, how does it feel different?
Well, the world is like it's definitely more difficult to be shocking now because now that people have actually witnessed what a beheading looks like in real life, and they've discovered that, oh, wait a minute, it's not a 7.5 foot tall guy with a curiously long torso who has a big rubber expressionless head that gets chopped off. No, it's a horrible thing to see in reality, right? Competing with that is not easy. It's a gross and eternally, but I mean it's been like that for ages. It's just that now people can see the inhumanity of humanity. And we're going to keep doing what we've always done, which is reminding people of that.
This show is also proudly presented by Audio Media Grading. AMG authenticate, grade, and preserve your precious music collectibles. Each item comes in a museum grade, UV protected acrylic case with a serial numbered hologram, which is pretty dope. So if you have a precious music collectible, head to audiomediagrading.com, use the code New Noise, and get 10% off your first order. So you've got a new EP and a comic, The Return of Gor-Gor, which is about an orphan T-Rex stranded here. Why a baby dinosaur, and what would you teach a baby dinosaur about the world right now? Even a cold-blooded crack whore dinosaur.
We've had a lot of shots at parenthood throughout the years. This is actually about the 5th or 6th iteration of Gor-Gor. We keep screwing up as parents, and they end up hating us and going on mass killing sprees and destroying continents. But we're going to do it right this time. We're getting a fresh start. We found a new egg, a new little baby that we can raise and do it right, and we're just going to love it and squeeze it and hug it and give it all kinds of good drugs.
That's right, BälSäc.
What kind of drugs work for dinosaurs?
Ipecac.
Ipecac, that makes sense.
Yeah. There's no manual for parenting. We keep trying to do it right, and we fail. And we have to let ourselves off the hook for that.
The kids always end up hating us.
Yes. They turn into teenagers, and then the next thing you know, they're smoking crack, and
they grow up so big, like the size of a skyscraper in this case.
They start off so cute.
How does this ensemble come together to make music?
Well, it doesn't work.
What are you feeling inspired by?
Well, I mean, you did. I'll go back to your question about music, right? Right now, I'm inspired by our newest member, Grotius Maximus, who unfortunately could not be here today, but who is, he's got a lot of energy, and GWAR manages to be popular with younger folks, and I think that it's because we continuously bring new life into the band, and we're delighted to have. And we also, we don't close the door to ideas. And GWAR is a band that has played music in a lot of different genres, and we don't. It's almost one thing that we've noticed, and this was in the interview that you did with Oderus. He makes note of how the kids are wearing shirts of bands that are 30 years old, right? Um, and I think he rightly looks at the world and says, why are people so addicted to following genre, right? Like, I mean, that's almost like the secret to success. How much and how well do you adhere to the edicts of genre? And GWAR just never did that, right? GWAR was always a band that was difficult to categorize. We look like this, but we play punk rock. And when we get together, we simply make the sounds that we want to hear, and always do that. We'll keep doing that, and we don't really fucking care if anybody buys it or listens to it. Uh, it we If we did, then we probably wouldn't do this, because we're not a bunch of wealthy guys, right? It costs a lot to do this, and yet we do it.
Yeah.
And we do it because we are motivated by art.
Well, and you've
And
created a universe. Like you've created a universe of Scumdogs and shit. Like how
Right.
how did you kind of build that kind of universe?
the way we built these narratives
Yeah.
is by smoking weed and sitting around on the bus and telling each other stories. I suspect that it's exactly how humans created the Viking, the Norse mythology, right? It's just people sitting telling each other stories.
That's like the thing that makes us human or makes us Scumdogs, like space aliens, cyberlords. Like it's like in Australia, like you've got the oldest culture, the oldest living culture in the history of time is the Dreamtime.
That's right.
And that's hundreds of thousands of years of people telling story. 40? I can't remember. There's a whole bunch of years and people have been telling their stories and that kind of thing. How do you guys just get really high and jam out what happens next in the comic book world?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like that's what we've always done. And also we've been, we tell each other the narratives of uh, you know, I mean, if you create a world, then you have to sort of, yeah, you have to fill it with meaning and fill it with and come up with ways to explain things. And that's what humans have been doing for as long as they've existed.
So the new comic
Um,
and stuff, what kind of a chapter what did you want to do here that you guys haven't done before and like visually and yeah, where did you want to go?
with the comic,
Yeah, and why is it why are comics an important part of your expression?
comics have always been an important part of it because that's how GWAR got started, right?
Yeah.
Is that Hunter Jackson is primarily, you need to fucking do this right now. God damn it, man.
Important things.
This is um all right. It's always been an important part of what we're doing,
Mm,
comics. And underground comics, the world of underground comics,
mm.
uh that's what GWAR originated as. Certainly the first time that I ever heard of Dave Brocky was because of the comics that he drew called Mr. Donut.
Mad.
Um, and also Hunter Jackson. I knew
Yeah.
both of them because both of them published comics, and I liked their comics, and I'd buy their comics at the record store.
Oh, so this is like
Um,
Zine Land. This is like Zine Land.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely GWAR was the product of comic culture. So definitely, that's always been the very first. It's interesting. After Oderus passed, some of our fans were like, we made an appearance at at a uh, a convention, a comic book convention, and we hadn't done that in many years. And the kids were like, that never would have happened when Oderus was around. And it's like, no, it would. Like the very first time that GWAR was seen live was at Dragon Con in
What?
1985.
That's
at
amazing.
Yeah, I mean, like that's how it came into existence. So,
So it's Dork.
uh,
So it's Dorkapalooza. It's always been Dork. I'm safe here as a
and it
GWAR
also,
fan. This show is presented by Grillo's Pickles. Grillo's Pickles make the freshest, crunchiest, most delicious pickles. And even if you're not a pickle fan, you should try Grillo's today. Why not? Live a little. You can find them in the refrigerated section of your local grocery store. So chill out and eat a pickle.
yeah, and it also comes out of gaming, the
Yeah.
world of gaming.
And I think
Many of the characters like Techno Destructo and Cardinal Sin, and even Oderus himself began as figures in a board game called Melee. It's sort of like like Warhammer without all the stupid shit. Like it's just the cool
mad.
fighting and the funniness.
Yeah, mad.
It's not about fucking geometry like they turned it into.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean and we would play those games on the road. We still play them on the road.
Yeah. Well, this is probably why like the generational thing as well, like younger people getting into it, because younger people live in video game universes. Like the younger people, like this generation, like lives in video game land. They live in like you seem more. This is more like a natural creature to your average like 17-year-old boy than maybe humans are. This feels more natural. This is more who they're spending time with. Like,
well, that's really good. Yeah, us and pornography.
Yeah, exactly. If you can bring some more porn into the situation, that would be great. Okay.
It's really made some real positive changes.
Yeah.
In human behavior.
It was cool, like speaking about it's cool you guys worked in the studio with Kurt from Converge. That's a sick band on the EP and stuff. How did you guys you kind of nearby, I guess, Richmond to wherever?
Not really. I mean, Grodius was a fan and a friend of
Kurt?
had done some work in the past with Kurt, and we knew that Kurt was a good mixer, and we wanted to try somebody else doing it, so we got him to do it.
What kind of stuff who are you beheading now? Are you taking requests for people you can behead now? Are you still doing that? Are you guys freaked out, man? I don't know. I'm scared to say shit, and I'm here.
No, we're not.
No.
We're not freaked out. I mean, I hope that they do come after us, man. I mean, like
get in an ice van, go to Seacot, get out there.
Yeah.
They'd have to shave your head. It'd be pretty dark, actually. Yeah,
I think
Seacot freaks me out.
I think that they're going to, if GWAR can be part of exposing the regime,
yeah,
what the fuck it is.
It's fucking weird, man. What's going on? Like, it's always been weird, but now it's so weird. I think we need absurdity. Like, we need GWAR. The world needs GWAR at a time like this.
I would agree.
What are some of the things that you've done on stage that have really stuck with you, that affected people, and you kind of walked away and went, we should do more of that? That's fucking crazy.
I think that what GWAR does is make people laugh.
Yeah.
At things that are horrible. And that's probably the biggest difference in our band and other bands, is that GWAR really makes people laugh. When you go to see the band, I think it also, especially people that haven't seen the band before, GWAR doesn't fit in the frame of rock and roll. And people become aware of that when they watch it. They're like, okay, well, this doesn't fit in the frame of a concert experience. It's coming off the stage at me in a way that, they might have been, the world was somewhat prepared for. There's that film of Iggy Pop playing at a Cincinnati rock festival, and they have the announcer is kind of like a sports announcer, and he's talking about what's going on, and they don't have a frame of reference for it, right? He's off the stage. He's coming off the stage, right? Like he's in the crowd. This is the third time he's gone. We don't even know where he is. like, and GWAR does that, right? But in a more exaggerated way, breaking down that barrier between the audience and between the artist. And I think that helps people in a way. What GWAR does is what punk rock always did, right? Which is help people realize that anything is possible, that you can do this thing. You can make, if what you see in your brain of your imagination, it's possible to make that real.
Yeah, for 40 years.
Yeah. And so I think people realize that sort of all in a rush when they see it. And they know, even if they don't process it in that way, they know, like, wow, these guys aren't following the rules. Like anything seems possible. And you can see that rush come over them. And some people can't handle it, right? Some people start acting crazy in a really weird way because those people are damaged already, right? Like
yeah. Oh, that'd be good.
You
Break free from boring with Rootless coffee. You can get small batch roasts like a damn fine cup of coffee, or no X and espresso. As you can see, the bags are designed by absolutely killer multimedia artists, which is dope. So if you want a one-off order or a coffee subscription, head to rootlesscoffee.com and use the code NEWCOFFEE20 for 20% off your first order. What are some of the craziest reactions you've seen? Like people just not get it?
Well, I mean,
yeah,
I haven't seen, you don't see people be violent at GWAR shows, I think, because GWAR shows are cathartic. I haven't noticed it any more than any other situation, but I mean, more like people responding to it in a positive way. We've had a lot of artificial limbs thrown up on stage, like, I think that GWAR engages people that would otherwise go unengaged.
Yeah.
And they feel recognized and they feel spoken to and they react to it. And
it's
I think that's part of,
I think
that's why
people are a bit lost. People don't have stuff to like get to share and like be affected by. And I think it's like high theater. It's like this.
Yes.
We need things to share in this time,
Yeah.
I'm a dork, man. What yeah. How do you plan a live show? Do you script it? Yeah.
Well, yeah, we script
a
show.
You do a whole thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, we roll, Blöthar would tell you we roll out there trying to do a rock show and we get attacked. And that's kind of what happens, but and all of the shows are scripted and there's a theme and there's something that we're trying to say.
Yeah.
And there's a narrative and we've gotten better at telling those stories over the years. And along the way you just give people spectacle, right? And
that's beautiful.
So that's how GWAR shows come together. We have a lot of songs to choose from. We have a lot of incidental music we can add. Like there's a lot of opportunities for art. You asked earlier what drew us to GWAR, and I think it's the opportunities to create at a lot of different levels and a lot of different activities, right? It's not just sculpture. It's not just rock music. It's not just costume making. It's acting and it's, improvisation and it's, just theater, like conceiving of something from beginning to end and telling stories, narrative. So all of those things are things that we're interested in, and GWAR is just a big sort of creative opportunity.
Yeah. What advice would you give to budding arty people wanting to create a universe? Because you guys created a universe.
Yeah, well, they always say
just do it.
Yeah, I mean, like that's what they say, to the person that's like huffing electronics cleaner in their mother's basement. Do what you love.
Do what you love. Get out there.
And success will come,
Yeah, get out
if
there.
What you love is just master. Yeah. just dedicating your life to pornography.
Yeah, dedicate
Go
yourself
for
to porn, do some meth, you know. Porn and meth.
No, I mean, but seriously, you know, you follow your creative impulses and you do what you believe in and what you want to do, and you find people that delight in what you're doing and that share it with you. You know, I mean, you can make things yourself if that's who you are. I don't think that GWAR wouldn't have existed right that way, right?
Yeah.
GWAR, I think, is evidence of the collaborative nature of creation.
Thank you for telling me some stories about GWAR. You've wrecked some mystery, which is the point of the show.
Well, I want GWAR to be remembered as one of the truly great shock rock bands to ever exist.
Yeah.
I want them to be recognized for breaking that frame that we talked about. I want GWAR to be, I just want people to remember that GWAR challenged the idea of what rock and roll and what live music performance could be and shaped it in some way. And I think that we're already there.